Layers are wonderful if you would like to manage the visibility of your items of your drawing, and also you can lock these items so you cannot reach or edit them, and also you can control their visibility in printing if you would like to. Now the central manager for these layers is here. This is what you can find in this little menu here. If you click on that, you will find the layer manager. This is the first item. If you click on that, the layer properties manager will automatically appear, and here you have a list of layers that you can not only list, you can also rename them by simply click on their names. You can change their visibility, whether they are editable, and you can also control whether they are to be printed. I will talk about this a little bit later. Here in this dialog, you can also create new layers, you can erase layers that you don't want to see, and also you can change whether the active layer is this or the rest of the other, any of the other layers. This actually is something that you won't do many times because the software will automatically handle this for you. In practice, this means that if you are actually using the wall command and you are creating a partition wall or a load-bearing wall, those items by default setting, they will automatically fall onto the wall load-bearing wall or to the wall partition wall layers, so you don't have to manually maintain them. Also, this list is sometimes quite long. You can reduce this list by simply seeing only the layers that are important to you. And this means that in this list, there are actually layers that are not containing anything. So they are not that much relevant to me than all the rest of the layers where I actually placed items. So if I would like to see not only all the layers, which is this full list, but only the used layers, then I click here, and this is a much well reduced list, and I can also only focus on the layers that actually contain walls, lines, railing, roof, and so on. Now, if I see this list here, I can also see something that is called the same way as this drawing is called. It's Latte Nova, and it's because this drawing was based on a imported drawing. So whenever you import, for example, a DWG file, and it contains layers, of course, then the software will automatically load up those layers as well, and will automatically sort in the different group, in the different layer filter group, which you can easily access and maintain the layers within that original drawing if you would like to. Now let me just go back and focus on this used layer list, and then I would like to show you how you can actually manage the layers, how you can manage their visibility, whether their content is editable or printable, and this is how it goes. If I would like to, for example, hide all of these dimensions around, then I will just quickly go here and select the dimension length, because as a fact I know that these are length dimensions on the layer dimension length. And when I click on it and I select this little bulb icon, the moment I click on it, it turns into gray, and this means that it is off. And the same moment, this lock is also getting locked. So let's see what happens then. When I hit OK, the software actually makes the content of that layer disappear because the layer is turned off. So this means that the content of that layer is nothing to be selected, and it won't be printed as well, of course. Now let me just go back to the layer manager dialog and see what else I can do with this layer. So here we go, there is this dimension length layer, and when I turn back on the visibility of this layer, notice that the lock is not getting unlocked automatically. So this means that when I turn on or off the visibility of a layer, the lock is not necessarily turned on and off, because this means that the layer, the content of this layer, will be visible but not editable. Let's see what that looks like. If I hit OK, then it seems that it's totally the same as it was before, but the very important difference here is that I cannot select the content of that layer. So I cannot actually reach, I cannot accidentally make changes on this layer that I did not want to. And actually this is the purpose of this setting, that you won't be able to edit, remove, or make unnecessary changes on the content of layers that are logged. So this way you can actually protect parts of the drawing that you don't want to accidentally select, remove, or modify in any way. If you would like to go back to how it was originally, and you would like to turn back on the editability of these items here, then you need to go back to the layer manager, and you can turn back on the length dimension layers editability. So just click on this one, and then when you hit OK, you can already select and move and change any of those items being on that specific layer. Now there is one another setting right besides all of those, which is the printing option. This means if I click on this one and see there's a red cross appearing over this printer, this means that whatever is on this layer will be visible, it will be editable, but it won't be printed. Now, this means if I just go to the print dialog and I just see the preview, or I create the PDF file, nothing will be visible that is on this layer. This is a very useful option if you would like to create a new layer, for example, for notes that you would like to place on the drawing, but you would like to make sure that whatever falls onto that layer, whatever you place on that onto that layer, won't actually be getting printed. So in this case, you just turn off the printability of that layer if you would like to. If you did it accidentally, you can just click on it again, and then it will be printed once you go to the print dialog. So this is how it goes with these settings. You can change all of those settings. Whenever you hit OK, the software will automatically visualize those changes. Now, there is a specific setting, a specific tool that I would like to show you, which is very important if you would like to reorganize your drawing. Now, whenever you would like to change the layer setting of a wall, for example, in this specific case, there is this wall and I would like to change it to be not on the load-bearing wall layer, but for example on the partition wall layer. In that case, I have two options. I can simply just click on this icon, and I can just select the partition wall layer, and it automatically goes to that layer. And all the same thing I can go if I just select this item, go into the properties dialog, and the same way I can change it back to the original setting if I would like to. So all the same, if you select the properties or if you go to the property dialog, you will find the layer setting for that specific item. Now let me show you one another tool that is actually my personal favorite, and this is the so-called layer walk, which you can find in this list. This is the center piece, which is called layer walk. And this is a very useful tool if you would like to quickly go through all your layers or your active layers, and you would like to turn their visibility on or off, deciding whether you would like to see their content or not. In this case, like for example, if I would like to see the content of the original DWG drawing, which is not visible here, I need to keep holding the Control key, clicking on any of those layers, and as you will see, those layers will come back up and I will see their content. If I would like to turn them off, then I can just do the same thing. I can just keep holding the Control key and disabling all those layers that I don't want to. The same way, I can just simply click on one single layer, like for example, the wall load-bearing wall. In that case, only that specific layer appears. I can keep holding the Control key and click on the wall partition wall, or I can just click on the top of the list, keep holding the Shift key and clicking on the bottom of the list, and in that case everything is getting visible. Now let's just turn back off these layers, which are part of the original DWG drawing. I don't want to see them. And then once I'm done, if I click OK, the software will visualize the model based on those settings automatically.